I am joined by Mojo Muhtadi right now. You know him for his work as Mojo Rawley. In the ring, you might have just seen his new movie Snake Eyes. He had a part in. He's got a ton of things going on right now. Right now, we're going to start talking about your new campaign with Pepsi, madeforfootballwatching.com, exclusive game day recipes. Find out what makes everybody tick getting ready for NFL kickoff this weekend. How you doing today?
Bill, what's up, Playboy? Thanks for having me on, man. This is going to be fun.
Let's talk about this. Pepsi's bringing in some NFL players, some personalities like yourself, Duff Goldman, Flo Rida. Wrestling fans know from having some songs on some pay-per-views that you were a part of. What gets you pumped up for game day?
This is well, first of all, this partnership was just right up my alley because I grew up on Pepsi, and even into my adulthood, sometimes when we would go out to the bars and others would be, ripping shots or, having beers, alcohol was never really my thing. So I would be the guy at the bar with a Pepsi. So this is great. We got to talk with them about, creating this partnership to represent the hometown team, the Washington football team, which of course I'm from Alexandria, Virginia, and that was our team growing up. So it was just kind of like a clash coming together, worlds colliding, and it was just a partnership I was just so excited to be a part of. And like you said, we got Flo Rida in on the thing, which is a buddy. And not only have I been listening to his music in the gym over the years, but also partying to it as well and tailgating to it at the game. So it's just been perfect.
NFL kicks off officially in Tampa Bay, but if anybody wants to check out more, it's Pepsi Stronger Together. They're going to be donating some meals from local restaurants, doing some really cool things, community cleanups. It's not just getting ready for the game. There's a lot of, some good things going on to help people out in a time of need. So that's cool. It's not just about the game, but I want to talk a little bit about what you've been up to. Everybody knows you had got your release from WWE, and you've been busy since then. Talk a little bit about what you've had been going on besides this campaign. I mentioned the film Snake Eyes. You talked a little bit about having a marketing company coming up. What else do you have going on? Anything that we don't know about yet? Because it seems like, goes without saying, you're a great promoter for yourself and, the people around you, the causes you're a part of. Anything else you have coming up?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, it was awesome. Just kind of maybe like a month or something after, leaving WWE, Snake Eyes came out, and that was just perfect timing. It was really cool segue into kind of rebranding myself and growing and expanding myself outside of just being, like a wrestler for the past 10 years. And that was part of the reason, I started my talent management agency, was just kind of seeing all these guys that when they leave WWE, whether it's by their choice or if they get released or whatever, a lot of these guys are directionless and, have no idea what to do next. And, they just know kind of the same few promotions to wrestle at, but no one thinks kind of like big picture as far as like, branding yourself and finding, like these big A-list name brands, kind of like Pepsi, that you share a vision with and, you can partner up with to, kind of expand your name and your reach. And again, come together for charitable contributions and making donations like Pepsi's doing to all these people in need, surrounding, the start of football season and whatnot. So it's been cool to just kind of to grow together and just reintroduce people to the world and show people the side of you that you haven't been able to, like outside of, kind of being under your gimmick for the past run. So that's been exciting. And then, there's been a lot of other projects too. I've been having some fun mixing it up over there at TMZ Sports. I've been guest hosting there recently, which is another, just avenue that's right up my alley. And it's been a lot, man. Negotiating a lot more deals right now and I have some big plans for the future. So it's been cool. I mean, this partnership with Pepsi and the Washington football team has been step one of getting this thing rocking. So it's awesome.
Yeah. And I want to mention one other one quickly that you have. You'll be at MCW September 17th for a signing. So anybody wants to get a chance to do a meet and greet, if you're in the area, go check out MCW. you got a lot of hometown stuff going on. I mean,
and that's been one thing I've been pretty excited about is, we were always on the road. We were always in different cities, 4 or 5 days a week, every week, 52 weeks a year. So it's been nice to kind of come back home and start to revitalize some of my friendships and partnerships and just any kind of community service elements I can do back home, just because, I haven't been there. I was based in Orlando where the performance center was. I was training there, every single off day. But now, since departing the company, I got the time to go back home and really get things rocking. So MCW was exciting. Get to go back. Of course, I played my college football in Maryland. So it's all just the hometown roots, it's been great.
Yeah. And I know you've talked a little bit about kind of what went wrong. You've talked about wearing the face paint, and you showed the picture of the unused singlet. But I want to put a positive spin on that because you have this positive personality, and what went right about your career. Because I'm going to say you're still a memorable guy. Personally, I appreciate you sharing, your Arabic background. I have Syrian on my dad's side, so I always thought that was kind of cool. But what went right? Like, just talk about favorite matches, moments, memories, any kind of stuff come to mind where you're like, you know what, this is what I'm most proud of my career as a wrestler to this point.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, honestly, almost all of it. I had an awesome 9 years. And when you think about it, only so many people can make it to NXT. And then out of that, an even smaller percentage makes it to the WWE. And I got a 9-year run out of the company. And it wasn't even, like I put in 10 years of wrestling experience before this. I came straight in from the NFL with zero experience. So like my first day in a wrestling ring was in a WWE ring. And I always was kind of grateful for that. I mean, homegrown talent are very unusual to see these days in WWE. And I was one of them, and I always took pride in that. And from there, I had a great run, man. I won the Andre Battle Royal at my first ever WrestleMania. I mean, that was the surefire career highlight of my whole thing. And, had some fun storylines, even tagging up with Zack Ryder, and then even more fun turning on him. One of my highlights, even though that match in particular was on the kickoff show, having my one-on-one with Broski. It was my first ever match as a heel, and it was on a pay-per-view, so that was exciting. I had some special moments, and then just, the tours, the international tours, being on the road for 3 weeks straight, wrestling every single day in a different city or country, traveling the world and be able to go out there and make a difference. And, of course, I wasn't one of these guys that came in as the 5-star recruit. I came in as the under the radar guy that no one expected anything from, and, I was able to kind of hang in there for a long time. And I felt like when I did get opportunities on TV, in big matches or title matches, I felt like I made the most of it, and I had a lot of fun with it, man. It was a hell of a run. I go back and I think about all the people I started with and how few, made it through, and how few, had as much success as I did in the company. So it's grateful. If you're a true competitor and have high goals for yourself, no matter what you do, you'll never be happy with your career. You're always going to want more. So I always try to check that. Of course, there's things that I would have liked to have gone differently, or things I did on TV that I didn't necessarily want to, but that's the name of the game, man. It's about surviving in that company. And I put in, almost a decade. And honestly, I got no regrets.
I'm glad that's what you take from it, because so often, people might say one thing or the other, or they're like, oh, I wish, like you're looking at it in the right way. Like you're taking the positives out of it. I know you kind of just touched on it. You said, you really never spent time in a wrestling ring coming in as a football player. Is there anything that you had to unlearn leaving WWE, or just unlearning like wrestling habits, trying to be an actor now? Is there anything that you had to teach yourself to stop doing?
Well, I know when I was filming Snake Eyes, kind of just that awareness of working the cameras and kind of living the gimmick kind of thing, that really helped, being on set. And I mean, if I messed up, I could do it again. That's not a thing in WWE. You know, you got one shot to make it right, and that is it. That's all you get. You know, if you screw up, so be it. So kind of having that attitude and coming in and being kind of like a one take guy like that just helped out tremendously. What I was careful of, to answer your question, was, you know, sometimes we get kind of hokey with it in WWE. We're doing kind of like these crazy off the wall sells, you know. Sometimes it's almost like a caricature of a real character, you know. It's played up, it's turned up to 1,000. So going into, you know, like a street fight with Snake Eyes, I wanted it to seem authentic. I wanted it to seem like a real fight. So I was very careful about checking some of those wrestling sells, you know, that we would do in a match. And you know, that was just one thing that it's probably like the only thing I had to worry about, because really a career in professional wrestling really did prep me for, you know, a life behind the camera, you know, whether it's filming a movie or hosting a TV show or anything to that extent. I mean, it's all fairly similar. Of course, you just gotta, you know, scale it back a little bit or turn up certain elements of yourself and whatnot, which you've heard before. But overall, it was pretty seamless, I gotta say.
Yeah. All right. I wanted to thank you again for your time. People can check out the Pepsi Stronger Together campaign. Go to madeforfootballwatching.com. Very quickly, since we're talking about football, to bookend it, Super Bowl pick.
Well, we got to go with the hometown team, baby, the Washington football team. They're bringing it back. We got to hold it down for the team this year. Won the NFC East last year. We got a good crew this year. The defensive line is going to be one of the tops in the NFL, if not number one. So check them out. I don't even care who they're playing. They're going to get that dub. That's all.
All right. Mojo Muhtadi, thanks very much for your time.
Bill, thank you, brother. It's a pleasure.